let's see the different constraints that we have. We can write more constraints. We have given a couple of examples to make it more clear. Okay, so the constraints are required when we do not want the variables, the random variables, to be completely random. When we want a condition on some or all of them, that when we randomize this class, the random variables should take a value within specified range. So that specified range is mentioned using a constraint. Now let's check what are the constraints here. So constraint is the keyword, res is the name of this constraint, and this is the actual constraint. So what it says is that whenever this class is randomized, the operand 1 shall be assigned a value inside 1 to 100. That is, because it's an 8-bit value, when the data bus width is 8, it can take a values from 0 to 255. Okay, but we want the operand 1 to take a value only between 1 and 100. So this is called constraining the complete random behavior of the variables. So as we say that when we declare a simple 8-bit variable as random and we randomize that class, it can take any value from 0 to 255, but we want to randomize it in such a way that variable a, that is the first operand, only takes a value from 1 to 100. So this is not a condition in the specifications. We have just written it so that you can understand better how constraint works. And the same constraint says that the second operand, that is operand 2, should take a value between 0 and 10 only. So this is one of the constraints, that is the two operands, the two 8-bit operands should have a value between 1 to 100 and 0 to 10 respectively. Okay. Now let's check the second constraint. We have another constraint which says, the name of the constraint is divide by 0. As the name specifies, it says that if the operation has been selected as division, the operand 2 shall not be 0. Okay. Now we know that divide by 0 results in an infinite result, infinite value. So we say that if the operation has been selected as division, the operand 2 shall not be selected as 0. The first constraint says that the operand 2 should be inside 0 and 10. The second constraint says that the operand 2 shall not be 0. So this again restricts the sample space of operand 2. The first constraint, the actual random behavior says that the operand 2 can take any value from 0 to 255. But the first constraint says that it is only allowed to take a value from 0 to 10. There is another constraint which says that it cannot have a value of 0 if the operation is division. Now since the simulator has to work correctly, all the constraints have to be resolved in a meaningful way. That is, none of the constraints should be violated. So it means that all the possible values of operand 2 when the operation is division are 1 to 10. So how this constraint works is that because we have used one random variable to declare the value of another random variable. The first random variable is operation. Since if you check here, operation is also a random variable. So we have used the value of one of the random variables to select the value of another random variable. So this is interesting. Let's understand this a bit more, how it works. Now if you understand the concept of randomization, when we call a randomize function on the class generator, that is when we randomize the class, it will try to give random variables to all the variables declared as random, rand, inside the class. Okay, it will also try to satisfy, it will also make sure, actually it will not, it will also make sure that all the constraints are satisfied. If we check the constraint 2, it says that when the operation is division, operand 2 shall not be 0. It means that the operation shall be selected first. Does it mean that the operation, the value of operation shall be selected before selecting the value of operand 2? No, it does not mean that. It means that if the operation is selected before, if the operation is given a value earlier than operand 2, and if it gets selected as division, the operand 2 value shall not be 0. It also works the other way around, that if the operand 2 gets selected earlier than operation value, and if it is 0, if the operand 2 gets selected as 0, the operation will not be selected as division. So that is why we say that constraints are reversible in nature. This explains the reversible nature of constraints. It does not limit the order of assignments to the random variable. It only makes sure that whatever is the way of assignment, the constraint gets satisfied. So if the operation gets selected as division, the operand 2 will not be 0. Or if the operand 2 gets selected as 0, the operation will not be division. So this is how it works. Okay. So now this is we have seen the constraints, how they are written, and a typical nature of the constraints, that they are reversible in nature. We have also declared an API here in the generator file, which is called display, which simply displays the different values that get selected. So this is an important part here, because most of the times the user would want to know that what was the stimulus that was passed to the DUT. Okay. So if the user, after calling the randomize function, simply calls the generator handle.display, he will get what all values were selected during randomization. Okay. So this is the complete code of generator module. We will check the driver module in the next part.